And I get that, but I'm still just like, you're a high-level detective in the LAPD with a family.
With like 31 years.
Yeah, it's just like it still bothers me that he can't see why kids love the delicious taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But in all seriousness, I don't know why he is unable to see why Riggs would feel that way, you know? Like, just imagine if you lost the way that he freaks out when his daughter's gone. Like, imagine you lost your wife or any of your kids.
Yeah.
Like, it bothers me throughout the movie that he needs to be convinced, primarily through him being a good cop, that he's a human being.
Let me pay him some homage. I'm always keeping it honest. How the hell you gonna tell me to get it when you know I got it?
Hey, welcome back to the Black and White Cinema Podcast with Kev and Oogie. I'm Kev.
I'm Oogie, and today the movie that we are doing is Lethal Weapon, the original.
Yes, sir. Before we talk about the movie, we like to ease into things. I also just want to start something out that we haven't done. Going to give everyone a trigger warning on this movie. If you haven't seen it, I would have liked to remember this going in. There's a lot of themes of suicide, depression, mental health in this. We're going to talk about it. The movie goes into it a lot. So if that's something that you're uncomfortable with, like I am, maybe take care with enjoying this episode and enjoying this movie. But besides that, don't want to be too much of a downer. Oogie, how was your trip?
My trip was all right. It's been really cool to see the Montreal Canadiens, who are currently beating Buffalo 5-3 as we're recording this.
Oh, nice. Now.
So hopefully we win this game. We go up 3-2. We can go home and finish it. But have good news for everyone at the podcast. We have our very first fan mail.
What? I didn't even know he was doing this.
We got a package here from Big Daddy to Black and White Cinema Podcast. Here, I'll let you. You gave me a gift last time. I'll let you. Maybe it feels like books.
Do you actually not know what this is?
No.
Okay.
I know who Big Daddy is.
Okay. Oh, wow. It is not books. It is,
yes.
Here, you can have one.
Hell yeah.
I'll take one.
Do you know the Reese's Puff theme song?
And there's also some Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Friends of the podcast.
Snacks on snacks.
These are my favorite cereals, Loki.
So you know who Big Daddy is?
Yeah, okay. I know who Big Daddy is. And shout out Big Daddy. You know, I have done a commercial for Reese's Puff before, but this is probably the best commercial that we can do. The fans know that we love it. We love it. And I know that you don't eat this sort of cereal, really. I've been trying not to, but I'm probably going to smash this. So thank you out there. And to the rest of you listeners, Patreon, you can send us shit. You didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
We'll do shameless stuff for free shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it wouldn't take much for Oogie and I to do some real weird shit. So,
yeah.
Thanks, Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy low-key just did like a free spot.
Yeah. Kellogg's, get at us.
Yeah, General Mills.
General Mills.
No, fuck Kellogg's.
Yeah, fuck Kellogg's. This is General Mills gang.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks sincerely. This is really cool.
All right, that's pretty sweet.
What about you?
What about me? I do have a fan comment that I wanted to read. It's not this good, but we got a comment on Instagram for one of our Torque reels from Rob. And he said, "This is what happens when you want to be a content creator but have zero charisma behind anything you're talking about." I just wanted to thank Rob and his 14 followers, 13 if you remove his mom. It's really helpful having his input on charisma because obviously he's so popular. So thank you, Rob. Please let us know how we can keep improving the podcast.
Yeah, really. We're going back and forth a bit. I know me and this guy were going back and forth a little bit. And then I was just like, I think I ended it by saying, "Thanks a lot for continuously commenting. You're really helping us."
Yeah.
And then he stopped. Yep. And I was like, yeah, I won.
There was someone else I was rage baiting on our Instagram today, too. But Thank you all for the engagement.
Exactly.
Haters are our biggest source of support.
Yeah, I told them, I was just like, well, I'm happy that you watched it and you hated it because you watched it.
Yep.
Long enough to have this reaction.
Thanks, dog.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Not as much of a thank you as Big Daddy, but
Yeah, no.
yeah, you're there somewhere.
Definitely. Rob is not a friend of the podcast, even though he's a supporter. Big Daddy, big time friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where we get into the movie, I guess. We call this There's Something About Oogie, and we will give you an overview of this movie. So Lethal Weapon, 1987. Has been a minute. Okay, so synopsis for this movie. Following the death of his wife, LAPD detective Martin Riggs becomes reckless and suicidal. When he is reassigned and partnered with Detective Roger Murtaugh, Riggs immediately clashes with the older officer. Together, they uncover a massive drug trafficking ring. As they encounter increasingly dangerous situations, Riggs and Murtaugh begin to form a bond. Riggs' volatile behavior might just help them apprehend the criminals if he doesn't kill them both first.
Yeah. Notably, Murtaugh's too old for this shit.
Totally. Which I found really funny because he's playing a 50-year-old in the movie, but he was actually 40 when they started filming. Also, the actress who plays his daughter, what's her name? I want to say Trisha Wolfe. That might be wrong. But she was 26 at the time of filming.
Okay, cool.
So she was closer to Danny Glover's real age than she was to the age of the character she was
Cool,
playing.
because the entire time I was going to try and make like an Ugo would have folded joke. She was the
Now you
really
can't.
only one in the movie. But
She
I
was
was just
26. She was 26. It's all good. I think she's supposed to be a teenager, but
yeah, I think she's
26.
supposed
It's
to
all
be.
good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Which I think is good for like how they have her dressed in the torture scene, which we'll get to.
Yeah, I have thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know what's actually funny? I don't think I've seen this movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was watching. I thought that I had seen that. I thought I definitely seen 2 and 3.
And we've talked about 4 millions of times.
I don't think that I had watched it from start to finish, or like I have, but like I wasn't really paying attention, because this is another one of those ones where like the first 20, 30 minutes of that movie, I was like, I do not remember any of this. I did not remember. My first thing that I just want to talk about, I was just like, yo, why is the whole family with this man naked in the tub?
Yeah.
I was like, I would remember that shit. I do not remember this. His daughter's like kissing him while he's got
His
like a
son
fucking...
yeah.
I was like...
Yeah, just bring... Yeah, that must be some 80s stuff. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But, you know, yeah, Danny Glover. Comedy.
Danny Glover, one of the stars. The other star of this is Mel Gibson. Honorable mention to Gary Busey, a young, not fucked up Gary Busey.
I don't know. Does Gary Busey have like an affliction?
Besides drugs?
It's just drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, because
It's just like a lifetime of like really hard drug use.
at the beginning of the movie, I didn't realize it was him. And then at the end of it, I was just like, wait, is that Gary? So I like typed in my phone. I was like, it is. Like the first thing that popped up was Gary Busey, Lethal Weapon, because, you know, everything's watching us. So it knew I was watching Lethal Weapon. And I was just like, damn, his face got fucked up.
I know. It's also like...
Was it ever not?
Yes.
Well,
in
that's
this
the thing.
movie.
Like in this movie, he looks pretty
He
good.
just looks like a regular ass white dude. He almost looks good looking, honestly. I mean, he's not everyone. I wouldn't say he's everyone's cup of tea, but like definitely he's somebody's cup of tea.
Right.
You know.
And I was just looking to see like when Point Break was, because I feel like so Point Break was 4 years after this, and he looks so much worse in Point Break. Like he's at least 70 pounds heavier, and like was like losing his hair already. It's just the 80s were wild, I guess.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is. So yeah, starring Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Gary Busey. The tagline, there were actually a few taglines. I picked the one that I actually found on a movie poster that I thought was hilarious. 2 cops. Glover carries a weapon. Gibson is one. He's the only LA cop registered as a lethal weapon. I mean, that's one of the best ones we've had, even if it's super campy.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I also wanted to point out, I'm not sure if this is the right time, but goddamn, bro, we're back doing a cop movie in LA.
Yeah, I know.
Another LA. I was thinking about that while we were watching the movie. I was like,
LAPD coded.
why is this? One of my friends said something about us like just doing cop movies, and I was like, no. And I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, damn, bro.
We really have like only done cop movies.
I would say like half of our episodes have been LAPD.
Because like even Young Guns is arguably law enforcement because they get deputized.
Yes. There's more than not. We might need to switch up the genres a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Shoot, because the next
This is
movie
America.
the next movie I was going to suggest has law enforcement too. Shit. Okay.
We got caught slipping though.
It's also like the 80s and 90s. There was probably a lot of this content too. That's probably,
Yeah, I mean, buddy cop is totally. It's a great genre.
Yeah.
But it's also propaganda. But
Well,
you know,
look forward to next week's episode where we do not do this.
hell yeah, quite the opposite.
Yes. So this movie was released March 6, 1987. R rating, runtime of an hour and 49 minutes. It was directed by Richard Donner, who did the 1970s Superman movies. He also did Lady Hawk, which is another excellent deep cut 80s action movie, and Goonies. He directed Goonies.
You Borderlands fan?
Borderlands, yeah.
Does Lady Hawk and Firehawk have anything?
Nope.
Are they okay?
Lady Hawk was like Matthew Broderick was one of the stars, and I want to say Rutger Hauer.
That dude that like DUI'd somebody?
Matthew Broderick or Rutger Hauer?
Matthew Broderick.
Did Matthew Broderick DUI somebody?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
This was written by Shane Black, who has actually quite a few credits to his name. This was like the first script he sold. So he also wrote The Long Kiss Goodnight, which I am adding to our movie list. It's one of my mom's favorite movies. So good. The Last Boy Scout and Iron Man 3. Also written by Jeffrey Boehm, who did The Lost Boys, Indiana Jones, and The Last Crusade. Sorry, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. That's one thing.
Pretty sick.
Lost Boys also going on the list.
Shane Black was also in Predator.
Right. Yes, and he wrote
Nice guy.
The Predator, the one in 2018, and he wrote The Nice Guys. Yes.
Out of the directors and the writers, because you seem to have put, you put 3 on each one of these. So which has the best like lineup?
Richard Donner had a pretty impressive backlog, but I think Shane Black had the most stuff that I like and that I've seen. Then,
Bang,
yeah.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Although The Lost Boys is one of my favorite 80s movies of all, like top 3 80s movies for me. So, well, it's a hard one. I was impressed with all their catalogs. And it's cool knowing that like Shane Black had such a prolific career and this was like the first script that he sold.
Sick.
And it's a great script. All right, you ready to play some games? You didn't look at the numbers, right?
Did not.
Okay. So 1987 money, everybody. The budget for this was an astoundingly low $15 million. Adjusted for inflation, I don't know what that is. Probably more. We have numbers for
million?
opening weekend, gross US and Canada, and gross worldwide. Ugo, what do you got?
Yeah, Mel Gibson, because he was Mad Max, right? So
Yep.
And he's a heartthrob, and he's like shirtless a lot throughout this movie.
The feathered hair and everything.
Yeah, this is like peak white boy summer. So
March release,
March
1987 money.
Man, okay, I'm gonna say, because this spawned, it had to have been successful because it spawned 4 or 3 sequels.
Yeah.
And a TV show. So I'm gonna say that it made 25 million box office, and then like no. Okay, now let's go. I'll cut that down. Let's say I'm gonna say that it made. Let's go 20 million opening weekend and 57 worldwide.
Okay. Mace, you got any?
I want to say like 30 million and then like 55 worldwide.
Okay. So opening weekend was only 6.8. It had kind of a slow release. Gross US and Canada 65.2. Gross worldwide $120 million. This was extremely successful.
That's
Wow.
You get like 3 sequels.
Right.
What is $100 million in 1987 money adjusted for inflation today? $300 million.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's big.
Yeah.
that's very successful.
Drake even has a line about it back to back, like the cover of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Drake. Cool. Rotten Tomatoes, 82% tomato meter, 86 popcorn. Seems appropriate. I agree. And Metascore with a measly 68. Their critics are assholes.
I'm too woke. I felt the movie didn't really. I don't feel like the movie handles mental health in a particularly positive light.
Mm-hmm.
I think the final, like, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm just a hurt person. Okay, but it lost some points for me. Like, I think this is not my favorite Lethal Weapon.
I agree. 4 is still my favorite. It's also, I was thinking about this when I was falling asleep last night. I don't really have this on like our list of things to talk about, but the amount of racism in this movie was like very, very, very small.
Yeah.
And when you watch 4, most of the plot is racism.
Yeah. Because it's 2000 now. Yeah, I think it's the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely noted some racism.
I know. I saw that in there.
I think even some of them were a little bit of a stretch, but like,
yeah.
Slight homophobia.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
for
I also
sure.
noted that as well.
I just thought it was interesting because, like I said, most of Lethal Weapon 4 is racism.
Making fun of Chinese people.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how it starts. Like, these movies are just like, they're very, I think what I will say, this movie is very grounded. It's just like, yeah, this is a family man. He has a very happy family. There's not any like toxic. It's just like, oh, your wife doesn't have great cooking, and that's a joke.
It's
but it's like
super grounded.
Yeah, it's like a very like fun and like lovable joke that's like you can get along with. And I do kind of miss when movies can kind of just be that. Like, I like the scenes with the kids. It wasn't just like ironic, I hate my dad every 2 seconds, like every modern
was
movie
very
has to
real.
be. It was just like, hey, he gets back from work, he's a cop. It also made me it really reminded me of, I grew up in a very idyllic area in Montreal, very suburban, like late 80s, early 90s. Everybody rode their bikes,
Mhm.
like everybody was everywhere. So like there's those scenes where it's just kind of like, hey, I'm home for dinner. You kids go home now because
Right,
they've
there's
been
like
here until 7 p.m.
There's multiple parts where kids who aren't his are just in the house.
Yeah.
And it's so real.
Yeah, and I was like, that's how it used to be. I was talking to somebody about that today, something completely unrelated, but just like that concept. I think we've talked about it here too. It's just like in the 80s, or you just like, or the 90s, where you just, everybody left. We were talking about no cell phones. It's like everybody left for the day, and then everyone made it back, no cell phones, and you were happy.
Yeah.
Everyone, all it just happened, and you can't even imagine that today.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
I miss the 80s and 90s.
Me too. Okay, so we're going to get into the movie. For those of you that are repeat viewers, thank you. We're changing things up a little bit, so we're not going to do a straight recap. Ugo and I have each written down some topics that we want to talk about. They're kind of sequential, they're kind of not, and we're going to go through them and let us know if you like it.
Yeah.
Let us know if you don't. And we're going to do whatever we want, but we still want to hear from you. So these are our cuts. Cut number 1 is Oogie's. I'll let you.
Yeah. So the movie very much starts off in a very 80s fashion, and there's just like a young woman.
The 80s font.
Yeah,
even,
yeah,
is, like,
yeah.
the blue like block lettering italics.
You watch this and you know where this is set and when it was made, and it's just like what do you even call that hairdo? It's like the hairdo. It's like the 80s hair.
It's just
like
super blown
everyone's
out.
mom, blown out.
Just
Yes,
like really blown out hair.
and there's just titties. Just early in the movie, this woman, she's like doing drugs. She's not doing coke. It's just like there's like pills and they're open, and the implication is that she's doing drugs.
Yeah.
But it's just like they have like a little a mirror down, and she's like fake doing it, and it doesn't look like she's doing any of it.
Very interesting music I thought in that scene too.
Yeah.
With it's kind of peaceful but also kind of suspenseful. Like
Yeah.
it's classical, but you're uneasy at the same time.
It's a Christmas movie. It starts off with like it's like, isn't it like
it's
Jingle Bells?
Rock,
Yeah, it's Jingle Bell Rock. This woman's like
I always
going
forget this
crazy
is a Christmas movie.
by herself, like up on like the penthouse.
Yeah.
She's doing drugs all by herself. It really, at the beginning of it, it really looks like she's fingering herself. I just like that very first scene. She's just kind of laying down, and she's just like laughing to herself with like drugs everywhere. Would not have folded. That
Would not have folded.
No.
Yeah. The music was, like I said, was you get this like peace, and then you get the drugs, and it gets a little foreboding, and then she's like out on the terrace,
Yeah.
and it's more like kind of peaceful and quiet. And then when she jumps, the music drops out entirely, and then she lands on the car, and it comes back in super, super like suspenseful and imposing.
Do you think so? Wait, was it just like these fake drugs? Because it ends up not being drug. Well, it is, but
It's like
poison
spiked with drain cleaner or something like that.
Yeah, like is she like is this more of just like because there's a couple of anti-drug propaganda in the movie? Is this like
oh for sure
she was like doing drugs and she's like I'm so high I'm gonna jump off a fucking.
I think that's reefer madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The head of like Dare, wasn't it?
Probably
yeah.
It's like
87 was both like the most drug use and probably also the most anti-drug like propaganda,
because it works really well. Talk to Reagan about it.
True.
Well, you're not going to go to hell, but I mean, if you could,
I might.
Yeah, well, you never know. I hope you don't, but if you do,
if the Christians are right, I'm definitely going there.
Yeah.
Thankfully for me, I don't think they are.
If the Christians are right, apparently Reagan will not be there, so then I guess you don't have anything to worry about.
That's true. Yeah.
Because you don't get to fight Reagan.
We'll find a way.
She gonna find a way.
Yeah.
I'll do enough drugs that it feels like I'm fighting Robert Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next topic we had up, we kind of already talked about. I always forget this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
The credits come in with a Christmas song. The cops are caroling around the station.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great scene at a Christmas tree lot that is our next topic we'll get into. It also finishes with Christmas dinner. And this, like, never comes to mind for me as a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Die Hard does. But now, I think
this is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard, honestly.
I agree, yeah.
I know that Die Hard takes place at a Christmas party and the entire time is there, but it's like you kind of fall away from the whole Christmas, like there is, but it's more of a backdrop, whereas this continuously reminds you that it's Christmas time.
Yep.
And not like there's no snow anywhere.
No,
it's just,
LA.
Yeah, it's LA. Yeah. It's just like you can tell it's Christmas because people are just in the Christmas mood.
Yep.
Shane Black likes to set his movies in Christmas.
Does he?
Yeah, it's because like he likes the lights and he likes the heightened emotion that the time brings.
Yeah.
Everyone's lonelier, everyone's happier.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
LA sucks.
There was a scene, the scene when Riggs and Murtaugh are like sitting in his boat having a beer, and Trish comes out and like yells about taking the garbage. I know when she goes in, she like adjusts one of the bulbs on their Christmas lights that's out.
Yeah.
Never caught that before. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's little
Also, when
details.
she does that, I felt that because that's like, yeah, that's like my life. I'll just come up with some shitty excuse like, oh, I'm playing magic with my friends.
1,000%.
I'm entertaining people.
I could totally see Sarah being like, Ugo, didn't you say you were going to take the garbage out? Oh, I'm entertaining our host.
Yeah.
I've seen this shit go
I'm
down.
entertaining our host.
Or our guest.
No, that's what I would say. I'm entertaining the host.
All right. Next. Oh, the Christmas tree lot drug deal. Just great scene. Coke deals at a Christmas tree lot. I think it was Coke, based on the fact that he tasted it to see if it was good. It's just such a good scene.
Yeah, I just wrote it's a good scene.
Like, it also is a good indicator of like, I'm gonna say of how crazy Riggs is, but I don't mean that in the way that they use the word crazy in this movie. Just like he's completely lost it. Like he doesn't care if he dies. He's like reckless abandon, middle of the day, getting in a gunfight.
I mean, like, how else is that like? In a weird way, though, like, how else is that scene supposed to go? It's like when someone pulls a gun on you, like, what do you do then?
Right. I love the like Three Stooges like poke that he does to the guys right before he pulls the gun.
But it's also weird. It's like, we'll talk about it. I just feel like throughout the movie, maybe I'm looking at this through 2026 lens. I feel like Riggs is actually very reasonable at most of the time. Murtaugh's completely unreasonable and like unwilling to meet him, but we'll get there because they haven't even met this far in the movie, really.
Yeah.
But
I also like the Christmas tree fight was the first time that I was like really aware of the audio track on this movie. It's super chaotic to me. It's the sound effects and the music and the like the spoken tracks all kind of overlap in really weird ways that make it really discordant. And I'm watching it like, was this just like all movies in the 80s? Because it feels really shitty.
No, I looked it up. It was heavily ADR.
They got nominated for a fucking Oscar for audio.
Nah. It was heavily ADR'd, and like remasters make it a little bit better. But it's just like there's just like certain scenes where it's just like the mom's walking and it's just like, oh hi, hey kids, come on in, and it's just like it just
Right,
it doesn't sound
There is a
right.
lot of
It just,
ADR.
yeah, it's not good.
But I'm not making that up. This was nominated for an Oscar for sound.
It didn't win. Huh?
It did not win.
Yeah. I would love to see who they were going up against.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's somebody that was watching this is like, there were plenty of people that probably deserved it.
Right.
Like, I'm sure they got it not because of the ADR scenes, but for like some of the explosions and like some of like the other stuff, like maybe the music. The score's pretty.
The score was really good.
And also coming back to this movie, that Lethal Weapon score, like the jazz, like I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
It's like they keep that throughout everything. So I was like, all right, cool.
But I just thought it was so funny that I had a couple of notes about like how much I hated the audio, and that was the only Oscar nomination this movie got was for sound.
I mean, it wasn't gonna win it for fucking any. Like maybe best action movie, I guess. I don't know. But
I don't know what the Oscars were like in '87.
Yeah.
It's just funny because, it's a super successful movie, so I would expect it to be in more Oscar nomination categories, but like the one thing it was the one thing I hated about this movie.
Yeah, but there was a black guy in it, so.
That's true.
Yeah, the Oscars like gave out seldom back in the day. I think Sidney Poitier got one, and like a black woman, I don't remember who right now.
Mm.
And that was like kind of
Ugo
it for
doesn't
a long
know anything
time.
about Black history.
I know. Man, fuck you.
Man, fuck you.
But also, what I want to say, so also, my note here, we also get to that scene where we meet the main bad guys, and so they have like this like random Hispanic dude that's there to buy drugs, but like the bad guys are just like real like they're patting him down. He's just like, why are you doing this? And after that, they try to show how cool and how loyal the mercenaries are. And the general gets one of his men to like take a flame to his hand and just have it be there, like a lighter, for like 5 seconds. And he's like about to start crying, but then he lets it out and he's like, oh, go get that checked out. And then this guy's just like, man, this is too crazy. Like, he's like, y'all are crazy. He's freaking out. He's freaking out so hard. And I was like, yes, you're right. They are crazy. Like, you guys don't even have to do this.
Yeah.
There's like none of this. I'm buying drugs from you. Yeah. Just sell me the fucking drugs. Why are we?
Guys, man. You guys are fucking crazy, man. Come on.
Why are you complicating this?
Right.
This is a simple heroin deal. I give you the money, you give me the heroin. That's it. Yeah. He's just like, why are we burning people's hands and why are you?
Don't fuck with
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I wasn't gonna.
I like how that doesn't come back. When I was watching that, I was just like, oh, this guy's gonna like double cross them or something.
He never shows up again.
You guys are out there like fucking Pluto, man. You're gone. The bulk of the heroin will be here Friday night. We'll make delivery at that time.
This guy just shows up. He's just like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. I remember that scene too, because as a kid, that's one of the few times that I was able to like spot the movie magic, because from the angle you can see the camera's here, Gary Busey's arm is between McAllister and the camera, and then the lighter is like this. And they try to make it look like he's holding it right under his arm, but you can tell that he's holding it like back just a smidge. I don't know. That was like just one of the first things I remember being like, he's not really burning his arm,
Yeah.
Okay, next topic I have is a very quick one. I never noticed the amount of ad placement in this movie.
Yeah. There's quite a bit.
There was a Purdue Pharma ad at one point. I was like,
it's like that old guy, and he's just kind of like, and that's how you know it's me if it doesn't say P-U-R-D-E. Or,
yeah, I was like,
I can spell Purdue.
Purdue.
Yeah.
There was also Three Stooges and Looney Tunes. There was an Alka-Seltzer ad. I think they like mentioned Coca-Cola a couple of times.
There's lots of TV on in the back. There's like a lot of like picking up TV.
Yeah. I looked that up because it's most of it is in Riggs' trailer when he's by himself in like those depressive moments. And there was like a theory online that it's the TV is supposed to reflect his mental state.
Yeah.
I'm like,
chaotic.
A Purdue Pharma ad, like when he's waking up, I don't get it. But
yeah, he needs to take drugs.
Yeah.
Also, when we meet Riggs, he's just like ass out. Just like,
yeah, like Mel Gibson, I think in his contracts, he has to show his butt at least once.
That was just fan service for horny women in the 80s. He's
like, is the whole trope of like, oh, your boyfriend's going to drag you to this movie. We'll at least give you some Mel Gibson ass.
Yeah. So there's a scene in the movie where Murtaugh, one of the main things of this movie is that Murtaugh was in Vietnam and there was this guy that saved his life. Huntsacker. So he gets like a call from this guy, but he doesn't get back to it for 3 days. And it turns out that this guy, Huntsacker, his daughter's the one that jumped. So we find out later on in the movie that Huntsacker saved Murtaugh in Vietnam. He like took a bayonet in the lung for him, which is crazy. Yeah. You owe him. He goes off. He's like, you owe me. And I was like, actually, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. You do owe him. He's just like, kill them all. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of tough because he is a cop, but I'm still kind of with you.
Hero cop at that.
Yeah, exactly. So it turns out that Huntsacker knew that his daughter came to LA and she was like doing porn and like doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so after he's like doing his research or whatever, he gets sent evidence, and the evidence was just like a porno that she was in and like her 1983 Palos Verdes High yearbook just to show how young she was. And my question is, how much evidence porn gets watched?
I had never thought about that until you made this note. Probably a lot.
Because I know somebody who used to be in law enforcement and they used to do sex crimes. And I know that person had to watch a lot of like
very disturbing
stuff.
Yeah.
But like, because I imagine not crazy sex crimes, there's got to be fun evidence. And not even just porn.
Right.
Just like there has to be fun evidence where you get to like see and take part in things because it's technically evidence that's cool.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much cool evidence and porn evidence gets consumed. And on top of that, I wonder how much people take it too far and how much that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
If you're LEO, please let me know if you have risked it for the biscuit.
Yeah. If you're somehow a law enforcement officer who doesn't hate us for our prior episodes, then we'd love to hear from you.
Well, they might hate themselves. And
that's true.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you've worked in an evidence locker, let us know how much porn you've come across. I know we have a friend that can answer that question.
Yeah. Yes, I was just thinking to myself, I was just like, don't I know someone?
Yeah. Yes. I don't want to call him out on the show, but you know who you are, and you better be watching, and you better comment with how much porn you've seen in the evidence locker.
Yeah, no, I'm going to call you out. Alex, tell me how much porn you've seen in the evidence locker, bro. I want to know. Tell me all the stories. Comment below.
Yeah, or just text us if you want to get in trouble. That's fine. The next thing we're going to come to, we're going to talk about the jumper scene. This is a scene where Riggs and Murtaugh are first paired up, and they respond to a call. There's a guy who was at his company Christmas party and went up to the roof to jump. And there's a lot that goes on in this scene.
This is like another one of those things where it's just like they're trying to frame Riggs as this really crazy, oh man, he's a loose cannon. He's just taking action and doing stuff. Murtaugh's so mad at him. Riggs goes up, talks to the guy, gets him to trust him, handcuffs him, jumps into like the safety pillow, whatever you call those things. I don't know. Like not a pillow, obviously.
Air cushion.
Yeah, air cushion. Yeah. And then when he lands, like it's weird because he starts chewing him out as like, oh, you want to die? You want to act all crazy? And it's just like, didn't you see? Like, how is it? How did you not see that?
Yeah.
It's right there. Also, like Riggs is just like, yo, I did my job. I went up there. We need to get the guy down. I got him down. We're safe. And then
I feel like the implication is that Riggs, I'm guessing, did that before the safety cushion was ready or something. Like he's acting as if he could have died too, but it happens so quickly that I don't know. I'm
I don't
with you
think
that it doesn't
yeah.
really make a lot of sense.
I don't think so. I think
I think it
again,
was just a way to get the exposition
yes.
in order to have the part where he challenges Riggs to kill himself.
Yeah.
And he's like literally pulling the trigger, and Glover has to like put his hand in between it to stop.
Which is, don't
Just
ever
fucking
do that. That's insanity. If
someone
someone's
tells you they're suicidal, don't challenge them.
it's like this is one of the things, like this was a major like strike. It was almost 2 strikes for me. I was just like, because I feel like the movie, it's not until later on that like the movie like sympathizes with Riggs, but I'm like, at this point I was like, no, that's absolutely horrible. Why would you, they're playing Danny Glover like he's like, oh man, I was supposed to just be able to retire, and I'm an old guy, and here's this weirdo who knows judo and is sad that his wife is dead. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Bro, chill out. Like, why would you're a cop. Why would you ever give a gun to somebody and tell them to shoot themselves?
Yeah.
It's stupid. The other thing is there's a continuity error.
I actually caught it too.
Yeah.
It's the first time I ever noticed it.
Yeah. So when Riggs gets up to the top of this like building, he convinces the guy to handcuff him, and so they both jump off together. But he's handcuffed. But when you see them actually jump, it's like a little really bad piece of string, and so it disconnects after they jump, and then they have to like hold hands.
Yeah.
And then when they land, like they're handcuffed again.
Yeah.
But my entire thing is like, even that, I was like, that actually is pretty risky, because like, man, if you jump that, if one guy bounces different than you and like
I
your
think that's
arm's
why
in a
they
weird,
probably did that.
yeah,
So the stunt guys didn't affect each other's trajectory as they were trying to land. at the
agreed. But I mean, just like in real life, the implication, if
Yeah.
you did that, like that would be insane. Like one of you, if not both of you, has a very good chance of breaking your wrist, if not your arm.
Right.
And I imagine that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But like that's all I could think about
Maybe
when
that's
I
why
saw
Murtaugh's
this.
mad.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
no.
So that actually, I think that brings us to a good point in like Murtaugh's character in general. I think it's
Yeah.
a good topic. We'll talk about both the guys.
I literally wrote a rant here.
Like, I think this movie, the writing does a really good job. The music also does a really good job of bringing cohesion to both characters. And I
Mhm.
think the first thing I want to talk about, because you already mentioned that I'm too old for this shit, is what I called the Murtaugh sax.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned it, like when he says I'm too old for this shit, there's like jazzy saxophone. It's a little racist. It's a little racist that the black cop gets jazzy sax and the white cop gets electric guitar. But I do appreciate the commitment to it. And every time Murtaugh does anything cool or has like a pensive moment, the sax comes back in. Like
Yeah.
that's where I really like the score of this.
I prefer the scoring in Head of State. I would rather it just be like a woman being like, Murtaugh's crazy. I don't trust these white boys at all. That would, because it's still like jazzy, and in that, yeah.
That's true.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit.
My beard had gray hair. And so there's the I'm too old for this shit that I think he only says
Like a couple times,
two.
really.
I counted 2. There might have been
Yeah.
a third that I forgot to jot down.
I caught one at the beginning, and I remember there one being in the middle somewhere, but
yeah, there. I only wrote down 2. If he said it in the tub, then there were 3.
Yeah, comment below if there's more. Let us know every single time he
Yeah.
says he's too old for the shit.
The other thing that got called back was when they're at the shooting range scene, which we'll talk about more in general. But he does like the neck stretch before he does the quick draw shot. Which he does at the end fight
Yeah.
to take out the driver, McAllister's driver. And then I think just generally, we talked about it a little bit, but I think Murtaugh's family is really, really important thematically.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, it's grounding. It's super grounding. It's real. The neighborhood kids coming over, leaving, like the oldest daughter dating a kid who lives in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's super important because, and it also establishes stakes, because if he didn't have this family that kept him, his primary concern is getting home safe. And Riggs's primary concern is going to do the job so that he has a reason to live.
Yeah.
And so for Riggs, like there's this whole like death as an identity. He's like, I want to die, but I'm really good at killing, and I can find a reason to live if I kill people to save people, you know? And it's the opposite for Murtaugh, who's just, death is the ultimate risk in my profession. It is the one thing that I need to avoid at all costs. And I just want to get home to my family. And I think it's really, it really is it's the stakes of this movie.
And I get that, but I'm still just like, you're a high-level detective in the LAPD with a family.
With like 31 years.
Yeah, it's just like it still bothers me that he can't see why kids love the delicious taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But in all seriousness, like, I don't know why he is unable to see why Riggs would feel that way, you know? Like, just imagine if you lost the way that he freaks out when his daughter's gone. Like, imagine you lost your wife or any of your kids.
Yeah.
Like, it bothers me throughout the movie that he needs to be convinced, primarily through him being a good cop, that he's a human being. And that bothers me. Like, I came out of this movie disliking Murtaugh more and like strangely liking Riggs more. Like, I'm more team Riggs. Like, not that there's teams, but it was just kind of like, I just felt that he was so unreasonable throughout the entire movie. Like, you're an intelligent man. Yeah. You have a family. Like, why can't you understand why this man is going through this, and why aren't you supportive?
That's true. And I'm gonna talk about this more when we get on the whole theme of mental health and how it's treated in this movie. But like for Murtaugh, he's not used to. He's 50 years old in 1987, right? Yeah. Like, this is a guy from a time where mental health,
greatest generation, probably.
Exactly. Like, I think there is a bit of like, he truly doesn't understand that is possible. Like, which we just talked about in the scene where he challenged it. Like, you're so crazy, fucking do it then. And like, holy shit, you were actually about to kill yourself. Like, he knows that people kill themselves, but he doesn't think about the fact that like that could be a reality.
But I mean, I get that.
I'm not excusing it.
No, I know you're not excusing that.
Explain the character.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that gets undercut by the fact that his whole premise in this is that he's trying to essentially avenge this daughter of this guy, and that guy is pushed to. He understands why this guy is doing this evil shit.
Yeah.
Because of his daughter. So it's just like weird that you're just like, I can understand my love and I can just understand this guy's love, but this guy, like, what a weird, wacky guy, and he does Tai Chi. Like, oh, like,
yeah.
And I understand it. I'm sure thematically it's done on purpose. I don't think the movie's like mistaken.
Right. It's just,
I'm just saying I don't like the character.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's like weird boundaries to his empathy.
Yeah.
Right. Like, he doesn't extend it to this one character.
Yeah.
Because that's what drives the plot.
Yes.
But that's a good point. I also want to talk about the dinner scene where Riggs first comes over for dinner, because it's wholesome. It's grounding, like we talked about. It shows Riggs the stakes. He gets to understand Murtaugh a little bit better. And it's also the first time in the movie that we see true joy on Riggs' face.
Yeah.
He's really enjoying himself. He's connecting with the family. Like, it's like a return to humanity that he hasn't felt since his wife died.
He's got his dog.
Yeah, that's true. Very cute dog.
Yeah. And also Murtaugh's daughter has the hots and is giving him the eyes.
Which recurs throughout all four movies.
Yeah.
As does the fact that Trish is bad at cooking. Like, that comes back in all four movies. And there's the fishing boat scene with some exposition about the investigation. They're like coming up with theories. They're bonding. And as Riggs is leaving, he like kind of becomes vulnerable and is like sharing a little bit. And like, I thought it was cool how he's like half hiding behind the cab of his truck while talking to Murtaugh, while he's like being vulnerable and talking about how he killed a guy at 1,000 yards and like during the war. And he says, it's the only thing I was ever good at. And like, he's both proud and sad about that. I just thought it was really good. I don't want to give Mel Gibson as a person a bunch of compliments, but I think as an actor in this movie, he's very, very
his acting chops really good.
Yeah.
I will never,
especially
even,
in this,
even his directing chops.
Yeah,
people are good at shit. I also thought it was interesting that they did because again, very intentional. They did the whole like demonizing weed thing. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say demonizing. It wasn't. She only got grounded for smoking weed, so it wasn't that big of a deal, really.
Yeah.
She can't go hang out or go to the big dance or something.
Right.
But it's weed, and she points out, she's like, "Oh yeah, but you guys are getting drunk right here." And then it's funny, like after that, like also the product placement for Coors,
Yeah.
which they do a couple times. But then after that, he's like, "Hey, just drive home."
Yeah, right.
He's a cop. He's like drinking and driving.
Six-pack.
Yeah. He's just like throwing it in the back
That's
of the
the 80s. Yeah, that's funny. But
So through their investigation, they find out when the girl jumped off. She was discovered first by like a call girl, and the call girl's name is Dixie. So they find out through their investigation, and it's likely when they get to the gun range,
right. They have a theory. Very thin.
Yeah, which is one of the themes, or one of like their little inside jokes that they bring back, like thin. They get to the conclusion that Dixie probably was there and she probably was seen leaving, so she had to pretend that
she was a witness.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Do we have
their theory is that she is actually the one that was going to kill Amanda. So the next scene that we want to talk about is the gun range scene. This is where Riggs and Murtaugh are. It's more bonding time. It's one of my favorite scenes, and I noted this scene for very different reasons than you, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
I love this scene because my dad loved this scene, my parents loved this scene, and going to gun ranges was like a big part of my like my backstory, with my family, and so the way that Riggs smiles at Roger as he's like sending the target all the way to the back.
Yeah.
And the amount of time that the director gave to how far out he sends the target, and then the quick shots, and then the time of it coming back.
I like
and
that
the reveal of
that.
the smiley face.
Yeah, I like that he's doing the like
Yeah, whistling along.
Yeah.
It's so comedic. It's not a comedic movie, but it's one of the few comedic beats that like really lands.
Yeah.
And then the later sequels are very comedic. So it's kind of like establishing that I've definitely tried shooting smiley faces in targets before as well. It's really hard. I'm not born to kill like Sergeant Riggs.
Yeah, well, you're not a lethal weapon.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. You are a weapon though.
Yeah, and you noted this scene for different reasons.
Yeah, I just also, before I get on to my part, Kevin is a weapon. We should also put in him getting to a fight at the cross.
We should not. We should not put that in. That's documentation of assault, technically. I didn't get banned. I just got suspended. All's good.
Yeah, all right. So previously in the movie, Amanda Huntsacker, the girl who jumped off the roof, when they discovered her body, it was discovered by a call girl. And so Riggs and Murtaugh have this like working theory that it was probably actually the call girl they're like, oh, someone's in the bed with her because they had that evidence. And they're like, well, what if it was this girl? I'm not sure if Dixie was in the Palos Verdes yearbook because I remember they flipped to the book, but I don't know if that was it.
No, she wasn't. They show Murtaugh talking to her at the crime scene.
Yeah, she's just talking to her, and he makes a really fun. What does he say?
All dressed up and no one to blow.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. But anyways, so they're just really working on this really insane, flimsy theory. They're like, oh, well, what if it was Dixie, the girl from The Thing? Like, yeah, what if she was on her way out, but then someone sees her, so she has to act like, oh, she discovered it and whatever, which is a really insane piece of like work to be like, okay,
they really put some dots together that weren't on the same page, but
it turns out they were right. Yeah. But anyways, so Murtaugh's talking to Riggs and he's like, someone was in the bed with Amanda Huntsacker on the night she died. And then Riggs is like, up until now, we assumed it was a man. Okay, suppose it was Dixie. Okay, disgusting, but okay. I laughed.
I feel like Mel Gibson wrote that line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, seriously, that was it. Because I was like, he smiles when he says it, and I was just like, Mel Gibson's laughing at this.
Right, yeah.
Riggs isn't laughing at this. I was just like, why did they feel the need to? Like anti-lesbian rhetoric.
Just a couple words, but yeah, it could have just been like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
They had to put disgusting, but okay. Yeah, so that wasn't great. That was a little too 80s.
Yeah.
Did not age well. Too
So-
much Mel Gibson.
They're going on their working theory, and so they go to Dixie's house to investigate, and they're about to walk up to her house, and the shit just explodes.
Yep. Great timing on their part.
Yeah.
I also love the detail of Roger trying to put the fire out, like Riggs is on fire, which like you can't see at all. It's like probably with 80s TVs, there was suspension of disbelief, but he's just like slapping him. Like, I also the neighborhood kids kill me every time.
Yeah.
We baby kids is what I thought of.
I also
This
like
is such a good scene.
another one where so Murtaugh and Riggs are interviewing the kids, and they're asking them all these sorts of questions, and he's just like, "Are you a real police?" He's like, "Yeah, is that a real gun?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Mama said policemen kill black people." And Riggs starts laughing. And again, I was just like,
Mama says policemen shoot black people. Is it true? Yeah, is it true? Is that true? Yeah, is it true? Is that true? Is it true?
It's like I think Mel Gibson is laughing.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I think Mel Gibson was laughing here. I don't think, why would Riggs laugh at that?
Yeah.
It's like, because him in the movie is supposed to be like this very like forward. He's like a new man. He's like a man of the
Man of the 80s, yeah.
Like he gets it. So it's just like police brutality. No, he's like no, like I do Tai Chi, but nah, police brutality. That's fucking
Right,
farcical.
yeah. I feel like maybe the only way that I can think of it is he was amused at Murtaugh like trying to relate to these kids, and the kids just being like, "No, you're a cop. You kill black people," and like that was what was funny. But it is.
That's probably what it is. But it's also just there definitely is some class discrepancy there, because even the way that he talks to them, he's just kind of like, these kids are from the hood, and they're just all they're talking with slang, and they're like, kind of like, he's very proper when he's talking to them, and then he tries to do this like voice to them, and you can tell that there's like a disconnect there. It's just like not authentic.
Right. And the kids are like, "No, don't trust this pig."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they're just idiots. They're like, "Alfred, don't tell them your name."
Yeah. This is Alfred, hi. I love that.
Tell me your name, Alfred.
Alfred. Oh, this is Alfred. Hey, meet Alfred. This is Alfred. Alfred, hi.
Yeah. My parents used to quote that all the time. And then we get the reveal. The kid recognizes that Riggs has the same exact tattoo as the guy that set the bomb at Dixie's. And that connected with the fact that Riggs recognized the explosive, and like he used to work with guys during the war that had that same type of explosive.
Like special ops.
And the things start connecting. Another scene that I don't want to spend a lot of time on, but there's just some cool shots in it. And that's the funeral scenes for Amanda, where they're kind of grilling Mike Hunsaker at this point, because they've realized like stuff, like you called us because you were going to blow the whistle, and then they were going to kill your daughter. And then Hunsaker gets killed by Mr. Joshua from a helicopter. It's a pretty cool scene, but there were 3 shots that like really kind of struck me as cool. One was we set it up with this shot of the funeral, and it pans across, and you see Riggs kind of standing off to the side, smoking a cigarette by himself. And then the very next shot is through the window from inside, and you see Riggs standing in the same spot. And so I thought that was a really cool transition to establish the funeral, connect that we're in the same place, and then show the dynamic between Murtaugh and Hunsaker. Just cool little directing nugget there. Also, the kill shot on Hunsaker, you get the full screen of the helicopter coming up, and then it cuts inside to the helicopter outside the window, and you hear the gunshot break the glass, and then it comes through Hunsaker and out the thing of eggnog that he's holding. Yeah. And it's just a really cool kind of like establishment of scale.
My only thing about that scene is just like, oh yeah, nobody heard this helicopter. It's just like, the helicopter
was like,
pulls up.
Yeah.
Like, where was it?
That I had the exact same thought when it pops up. It was like Riggs didn't think like, hey, I hear a helicopter coming. Yeah. Maybe in that neighborhood, everyone's got helicopters.
Yeah.
But then the other shot I thought was cool, because now we would do this with a drone or with CGI, but as the helicopter's escaping, the shot of the helicopter escaping and banking is from a helicopter that's pulling up above it and banking the opposite direction. Yeah. And that was just cool for me to picture like how much coordination that must have taken to pull that
I didn't
little
think
shot
about that,
off.
but now that you bring it up, I'm just like, actually, yeah, that was pretty sick.
Because like now, if we would just CGI most of the background,
drones.
or just have like a drone shot of the helicopter going away, but like the fact that they had to coordinate the on-camera helicopter and the camera helicopter is just that was cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to
What?
say that Kevin G's rap
Yeah.
is better than Murtaugh's rap.
That is one thing we forgot to talk about in the wholesome family dinner scene was the beatboxing. That was
it was something.
That was something. The kids. I think it's good that Danny Glover didn't pursue a hip hop career because that was bad. And you're right.
Bad.
Kevin G's rap is better.
Yeah. So as the movie progresses, now they know who the cops are that are after the bad guys. And so they try to take out Riggs.
Mhm.
They pull up on him in the street and then shoot him with a shotgun. And they light his ass up.
Yeah.
You wore your vest. Yeah, that's a smart kid.
I didn't realize I am today years old. I didn't realize that bulletproof vests could take like a shotgun. I guess
I wondered that. I think
depending.
I have problems with that. There's two things. Like one, from a distance, buckshot probably wouldn't penetrate Kevlar, but also from a distance, the shot would be everywhere. Like the hookers he was talking to would have got hit. Like there's no way. So if it was close enough that the burst all hits his vest, then it's going through the Kevlar.
Yes.
If it's far enough that it doesn't go through the Kevlar, then it's peppering everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the same thing this time around. It also like yeets him through a window.
Yeah. That shit would hurt regardless.
That would, yeah. If you've been shot in a bulletproof vest, let us know what you thought of that experience. I doubt it was good.
I'm just hearkening. Yeah, I was hearkening back to that. I was just like, yeah, one went through.
Yeah, right.
You shot me.
Yeah, man, you shot him.
You fucking shot me, man.
All right.
Yeah, so after they think they killed Riggs, they develop a scheme. They also figure out, like, Murtaugh realizes if they know who you are, they know who I am. They're going to my house, and they go to the house, and they find a ransom note, or not a ransom note, just like a "we took your daughter" note. And I never noticed until this watch that it says on the note, you can see it that he's holding it, and it says "your daughter looks good naked" on the note, which is really creepy.
That is creepy. I didn't notice that. But my thing about that was weird. It was just kind of like the mom and sons are home, and the daughters is kind of like, did they know? Or
No,
did they not?
I think that was because they realize that this might be happening because they get a call on the radio that someone was killed in Roger's neighborhood. So I think she was at the boyfriend's house when they took her.
Oh.
And then they threw the note through the mail slot.
Oh, I get it. Oh, so it was the boyfriend that she was with that got killed.
Yeah, because during the boat scene, he's like, "You mean that boy with the holes in his face or whatever?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "They're dimples, dead, or whatever." And then like when he's on the radio and the captain said,
like,
"Give
how
you
did he
this
know?
because it's by your house," he's like, "Yeah, probably gonna tell me Vic has dimples and blonde hair." And she's like,
Yeah,
"How'd
how
you know
did you
that,
know?
Sarge?" And he's like,
Oh.
"Shit." So I think they
I
found
get
her
it.
with the boyfriend, killed the boyfriend, kidnapped her, left the note at the house.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering when they were saying that, I was just
Because
like,
otherwise, how quietly did they take her that Trish didn't notice?
yeah, none of that made sense to me. I thought they were talking about when they were saying that, I thought they were talking about Gary Busey's character.
Oh, no, they're talking about the boyfriend.
But okay, I didn't even clock that the person was killed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's easy to miss. I think this is the first time I clicked it all together
Yeah.
watching this, and I've seen this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So they come up with a scheme to try to rescue her. They're told, Murtaugh is told, "Come alone, meet us here. We have your daughter. Meet us at this dry lake bed." And Riggs is like, "They think I'm dead. Like, we have the drop on him. Drop him off with a sniper rifle and see what we can do." And it goes sideways pretty quick. Initial successful sniping. I also love, like, Danny Glover, or Murtaugh pulls out a grenade, but he's standing like 30 feet away from everybody. And he's like, if I die, if she's going to die, she's going to die with me. My way, not yours. I'm like, if they just shot you right now, that would go off and none of them would die. But they act like it would be this, like, atom bomb size explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Return of the Jedi thermal detonator.
Yes. Yeah, he's holding a thermal detonator. So it's a smoke grenade. They get in a gunfight. They lose. Riggs gets caught by McAllister. What's the daughter's name?
Brienne.
Rianne. Hops in the limo and drives off and does the worst job escaping that I've ever seen in my life.
That was one of the most frustrating things to me in that whole movie. It just kind of, I hate one of my least favorite tropes in movies, which I like when they did it in Scary Movie, but like the girl, she gets out of the car and immediately trips.
Yep.
She just falls into nothing. It's like, I guess it was
like, it is a dry lake bed and she's like just driving straight.
Yeah.
It's like you can
turn.
I'm pretty sure if a helicopter tries to land on you, just like
turn.
Swerve at
In fact, you can actually ram into the helicopter and that will help you win.
Yep.
Like,
but she's just like screaming, damsel in distress, panicking.
Yeah.
It's very...
I don't like that, but like, yeah, whatever. I mean, her boyfriend just got killed.
Yeah. Her dad just got, I think he got shot in that gunfight too, as he's like telling her to flee. So it's very upsetting. You know, she's a teenager.
If your adrenaline would be fucking pumping.
Yeah.
You got to be.
I just don't like how she's like screaming and like pounding the steering wheel, like freaking out. Like,
you can do better. Do better.
Rianne, not cool.
Yeah.
And that takes us to the torture scene.
Yeah, the torture scene's pretty fucked.
It's pretty brutal. And like, maybe because this is like, I saw this movie like pretty young and relatively frequently as a kid. Like, this is when I think of torture, the first thing that comes to mind is the electrical shock in the shower.
Yeah.
It's a really well done scene. Same with when they're torturing Raj and like, what is it, like salt that they put in his gun wound?
Yeah.
Like, ow. As they're beating the shit out of him. And it's a very effective scene. And the breaking Endo's neck with his legs is just one of the most badass kills in like any action movie.
Climbing up the wall and getting himself out.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Yeah, and then after the general is pretty creepy. He basically is just like, I'm going to assault her in front of you right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the implication.
Right. Yeah. It's
until
which that would work. That would work on me if you had my daughter and it's like, all
I'll
right,
tell you whatever.
You're not going to talk if we're beating the shit out of you, and you obviously don't care if you die. But here's some leverage.
Yeah.
But Riggs comes in and fucks people up, and it's so badass.
Very
I love
satisfying.
like after they take out like all of the goons that were torturing them. Riggs is like bloodied, and there's this like primal like, who's fucking next? And there's like no one left to kill, and he's just like still in kill mode.
Wait, who's fucking next? McAllister! Who's next?
Now he's a lethal weapon.
Right, exactly. It's like it's the only thing I was ever good at. You know, we get to see it. He is good at it. And then they escape through they're in the back of a nightclub. We figure out and he escapes fighting more goons in the nightclub, and they chase Mr. Joshua.
Yeah. The car chase is a little annoying for me. I don't like how they chase. It's another one of the movies where someone escapes in the car and they chase on foot, and for whatever reason, the foot wins.
Right.
Like, well, just you're like once you turn one corner, you're gone. And then the other thing was I got mad because he actually does so he catches up to him by cutting him off to the freeway. So he starts shooting up the car. And so his car gets shot up, it catches fire. Okay, he gets out, but he's still very far away from Riggs. And so he can just steal another car, but he doesn't steal another car for like a good
they shoot at each other a while. Yeah.
And then he steals an Audi. And it's just like, if he would have stole the first, like, just leave. Just get out of Dodge. And then it brings, because like, long story short, there's this whole thing, like they're chasing these people, but it's just like, Joshua, the Gary Busey character, goes to his house to like kill his family. Why? My thing was just like, my note is, okay, your boss is gone. You're now the kingpin of this heroin.
You just escaped this situation.
You're the heroin kingpin now. You can get lackeys under you to be the face, and you'll make money.
Yeah.
Why are you risking it all right now? It makes...
For vengeance.
Yeah, like...
Kills is kill.
Right.
Yeah, but...
Even though, like, Joshua has been very calculating the whole movie, so it is a weird, like, emotional vengeance
He gets really stupid at the very end.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, it wasn't your fault, really. Like, Endo was slipping. You don't even know what happened to let the guys escape. Yeah. But just kind of like...
That's the moment Gary Busey started getting
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Busey was just like, you did this to my character. Fuck it, I'm gonna do all the drugs forever.
I think what bugged me the most, I didn't really think about that. So that like you added something that bugs me about that scene. But what really bugs me is this whole movie. It's like, these are special forces, these are killers, these are CIA, blah 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 blah. Everyone's fucking hip firing. Yeah. Everyone has their guns down here, just like spraying.
No one.
I'm like, oh my god! Like it was driving me
except
insane.
For the sniper,
right?
Which was Joshua, right?
Yeah. It drove me so crazy. Like Mel Gibson is like, I killed a guy at 1,000 yards in Vietnam, and then he's like chasing after the car like this. Yeah. I'm like this is like, these are guys that would shoot. Like if you're going to, and movies are way better about this now, and I know this was an 80s thing. Yeah. But if you're going to write a script about special forces, make them fight like special forces. Yeah. It just kept it bugged me so much. And that was the same kind of thing. Like my dad would always complain about like people who don't know how to aim actors who don't know how to aim guns, and also because my dad was trained to kill people. So yeah.
Murtaugh catches up with the general, the main bad guy, drug dealer.
Oh yeah.
Shoots up his car. The car inexplicably has a bunch of grenades in it, and it catches fire. It explodes. He dies.
Well, he shoots the driver, and then McAllister like tries to steer, but then gets flipped by a bus and pinned.
That is actually kind of cool. He shoots and then jumps into the little.
Yeah, he like gets into an alcove. It's really badass. With the neck stretch, quick draw, headshot.
No way you leave. No way.
But then the convenience of the grenades is weird.
And then
it never occurred to me until this watch that there's just heroin like floating through the air on that whole city block. And like I caught the line where Riggs is like, don't inhale this shit, you'll be seeing pink elephants, which my dad used to always say to me when we were painting stuff in the garage. Okay.
When he said that, I thought he was just saying that because it was like burning plastic.
No, it's all the heroin in there.
Yeah, okay.
And there's like a bunch of people just like milling around who are like covered in heroin. It's just that never clicked for me before. Like I guess I watched it when I was younger, but
I just want to also send you this, like, this is an aside, this Kumail Nanjiani like stand-up bit that he does about heroin, and it's hilarious.
Okay.
And the point of that stand-up is just do the heroin.
Just do the heroin. That's my message to you guys tonight. Just do the heroin, guys.
It'll make sense if you've seen the Just Do the Heroin, comment below.
All right, I'll watch it.
So yeah, Joshua is going after Murtaugh's family, but when they get there, they've already gotten the family out, so we basically get the Friday fight.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's basically
mano a mano.
Yeah.
I do want to know why Murtaugh crashes a police car through his own house, because that seemed really erroneous.
Bro, just shoot this. Like, whatever. It's an action movie.
Riggs wanted the fight.
Yeah, my mom calls these shoot 'em up, bang, bang.
Yeah, exactly. Which shoot 'em up is also a great movie that we have to do for this podcast.
Paul Giamatti, sick.
Yeah. Paul Giamatti is the bad guy. It's nice. It's great. It's just a great mano a mano fist fight, knockdown, drag out. Apparently they actually filmed this in a suburb on like the actual lawn of a house and just flooded it with fire hoses to get that fire hydrant effect. And Riggs is like starting to lose, and Murtaugh's like, let us take him. And that primal voice, no. And then he beats the shit out of him.
That's a pretty good place to be in. It's just like, I'm going to get into a fight, but if I lose, I'm still going to win.
Right. Yeah. That's a good kind of fight to be in.
Yeah.
And what I love is it's the first time Riggs accepts Murtaugh's right that maybe we don't have to kill every suspect.
Yeah.
And so he's like, fuck it, take him away.
I also did like that Murtaugh was just like, hey, I'm the commanding officer right now.
I take responsibility.
He's making the arrest.
Back the fuck up. Yeah. I take responsibility. That was good partnering.
He's not supposed to do that sort of shit. No. This is the sort of shit that cops kind of do. They're not supposed to do. It's just like not following procedure, but they're like...
They did not have body cams in 1987.
Yeah. But whatever, know. I think, people... I think there's a time and place for everything. And that time and place, if this were a reality, I'll allow it.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
There's subjectivity. Yeah. There's nuance. And while he accepts not to kill him, Joshua's dumbass tries to draw one of the cops' guns anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much what happens in Blue Streak.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so I'm going way out of order, but there was one thing we skipped over, and we've talked about it a bit, but I want to talk about the theme of suicide and mental health.
Yeah.
I think it's done in a very 80s way that at the time was probably progressive. And I think that there are actually really cool aspects of it. Even though like the way that everyone calls him crazy, it's problematic. Like there's even a line early on, right after the Christmas tree scene, we go to the trailer. He's watching Three Stooges, and which is funny because he just imitated Three Stooges, but we immediately find out like, oh, he's not reckless. He's actually suicidal. And it's a scene I literally can't watch. Like I have to look away during this scene. Really, really, really good acting by Mel Gibson. The way that he's sobbing, the desperation is palpable. And apparently at the time, Mel Gibson was going through a lot of depression and really brought that to this character, which is why it's so convincing.
It's probably like the best scene in the movie, honestly.
It's the
like an act.
it's
pure
really
acting
affecting.
wise.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't watch it. I like those who know me know why I can't watch it. Let's just say I've had experiences with losing people to suicide. It's really well done in a way that's very upsetting. And right after that scene, we cut to the psychologist trying to warn the captain. And I think this is it's very 80s. It's also shockingly still applicable to the way that people act towards suicide if they don't understand it, if they don't understand depression, if they haven't lost somebody. Because she's trying to warn him, like, this guy is not okay. And he's so cavalier about it. He literally says, like, he's a tough guy. It's like, it's fine. And he says, if he offs himself, then we'll know I was wrong. And like that cavalier attitude, like people still act like that. People still act like that towards suicide. And the very next line after that is Murtaugh's buddy in his cubicle who says, guys in the 80s aren't tough. They're sensitive people. They show their emotions around women and shit like that. Which is like, that is a fucking hilarious line, and it was not meant to be. And it's such an interesting kind of evaluation of like where I feel like this movie is willing to talk about a thing that probably wasn't talked about a lot, and willing to show that like that depth of like that final moment where he's about to do it, and they show it twice, right? And it's also really beautiful because of the ways that he is occasionally willing to talk about it throughout the movie, where he shares with Roger that I carry this bullet for myself. Well, you know, like that, it's a hollow point, so I make sure it blows the back of my head out. And that's fucking dark. And it closes the movie as well in a really beautiful way, because earlier when he's showing it to him, or I don't even think it's when he's showing it to him, they're like, they're still like at odds with each other. And Riggs realizes it's Murtaugh's birthday, and he says, maybe we'll live long enough for me to buy you a present. And it's like, it's such a like throwaway joke kind of thing. And then at the end of the movie, that is exactly what he does. He gives him that bullet, and he tells Rian, like, your dad will know what it means. Like, it's a present for him. And it's that cool callback. It's also beautiful because it shows that like Murtaugh gave him family. It wasn't just, because he says earlier, like, I wake up every morning looking for a reason to live, a reason not to kill myself, and it's the job. Like, that's the only thing he has to live for. And then by the end of the movie, he's got this found family. And even though he's like kind of doing this sneaky, like, I'm going to get out of here, I don't want to impose, I don't know. I just thought it was really beautiful. Like we talked about, there's a lot of problems with how mental health is talked about in this movie. But I actually think that the way they portray Riggs's journey through it is really, really well done.
I agree. I think that's one of the things I said at the beginning was like, I like how they ended it.
Yeah.
It was just the middle part.
Right. All the times they call him crazy,
Yeah.
and that, like, especially like Murtaugh goading him into it. Like that scene was really upsetting too.
That was
But
really
then
eloquent,
like it
though.
ends with like, he's gonna be okay. He's found a reason to live. He's got this partner who has now become family. His family is family. They invite him in for Christmas. They invite his dog in. And you like, even if there were no sequels, you walk away from this like Riggs is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's really fucking cool. And that's one of the main themes of this movie. So if we were to talk about what's the symbology there, which I think we've covered, I think that's it. Like the mental health, death as an identity, like I said, for Riggs versus death as the ultimate risk for Murtaugh, and how they kind of end up wavering, both of them wavering across that spectrum and then landing on a really healthy side of it together.
Yeah.
And then just the theme of family and like being worth living for. And in Riggs's case, when he lost his family, it was worth dying for.
Yeah.
But he didn't, and he found another family, and
It's the old race wars.
the old race war.
Yeah.
Family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
That movie's race wars.
Yes.
But I also think
This movie, I thought you would have.
Yeah.
One of the main symbols is a bullet, which
Right,
is
yeah.
a lethal weapon. And I think what the movie does well is, as you put it, I just wanted to state, it was one of my thoughts that I thought was like pretty, I don't know, cool. I like that they turned it from a lethal weapon to, at the end of the movie, like a beautiful representation of just friendship and family.
Yeah.
And that was really, really cool. I just wanted to point that out.
I think that kind of ties a bow on like what I got out of it this time,
Yeah.
right? Because I've been watching this movie since I was a little kid with my parents, and the nuances of mental health weren't ever part of it. You know, like that, the scene in his trailer where he's about to kill himself has always been upsetting to me, even before I had baggage around it. But I don't know. It just like, it all comes together. Watching it this time, I was like, a lot of times when I watch things that have suicide as subject matter, it's not like I said, there's the triggering aspect of it and what it draws up for me, but it's also very rarely done well. And it's usually offensive. It's usually a butt of a joke, especially stuff in the 90s. There's always like, oh, I guess I'll just kill myself, laugh track. You know what I mean? And to watch it this time and know that going in that this was going to be part of it, and then seeing how much of this movie was actually about his struggle with depression, and seeing it done well, done believably, done with a nice conclusion. I don't know. It really meant a lot to me to get that out of a movie that I've seen a bunch of times. And that's Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, after that conversation, I think that I'm changing my rating. I don't know.
You don't have to come around.
I know. I didn't dislike the movie, but I feel like having discussed it from that perspective, I don't think the further movies have that.
No, because
that's important, and it actually makes me feel things the other movies don't really like. The other movies have family,
right?
But like this one kind of has more of a, I don't know. It's not so memeified as the other movies are, and this one is much more grounded. So I don't know, man. It might move up some slots. I think after we watch all the movies, I'll give a fresh rating of which one's actually my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 4. I think some of my favorite scenes are in 4, but
the best comedy is in 4. That's for sure. Because you get Joe Pesci and Chris Rock.
Yeah. So we got Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, so Gone in 60 Seconds. This is our segment where one of us quizzes the other on something from the movie. I have a pretty hard one for you this week.
Oh.
And I do have a hint for if it proves to be too difficult. So, Riggs, the lethal weapon, he kills 13 people directly himself in this movie. There are a few that he causes other people to kill people that I did not count here. And I also do not I don't count unconfirmed kills, people that you don't know whether they died. And I also don't count the ones in the director's cut for you nerds out there that are going to tell me there were 18.
Well, actually.
So of those 13, how many can you list?
Okay.
And I have a hint if you want.
Gary Busey.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Joshua.
Endo.
Mm-hmm.
Old boy at the fucking at the pool, who I thought was Joe Pesci. When that scene happened, sorry, I'm using my 60 seconds right now. When that scene started, I thought Joe Pesci was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be Leo, and then it wasn't. I was like, oh no, I thought it was gonna be funny. Like, oh, you shot me in my leg. No, okay, sorry.
So Joshua
Let's
Endo,
see.
pool guy. That's 3.
You're not really counting Dixie, so no. Not Dixie. Let's see.
There are 27 total deaths. I'm only counting Riggs' 13.
Moving along.
Kills.
I mean, he killed like at least 4 or 5 people after he escapes the torture. He
So
kills,
yeah, there's
he
Endo.
kills the people and he kills like I think a couple more in the club.
Mhm.
I don't know how many that is. I'm gonna guess 1, 2. Oh,
So you got Pool Guy, Endo, Joshua, and then there are batches of them. So if you've gotten, I'm going to say you've gotten 5.
5. Okay, let's see. Who else does he kill?
No, sorry, you've gotten 8.
Yeah, 8. Okay. There's no killing when he goes to see Mr. OnlyFans dad.
Hunsacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already doing better than I thought I would.
Yep.
In the car.
There's only one scene that you've missed.
How are we introduced? Oh yeah, all the 3 guys at the beginning at the fucking he kills. Well, I don't know how many of them are confirmed, honestly.
He actually doesn't kill any of them.
Okay.
He dodges and makes one of the guys kill his buddy,
yeah.
and then he shoots one of the guys and you see him writhing.
Okay.
And then they chase the other guy.
So that's not
no. So the only one you missed is in the desert. There's 4 confirmed kills in the dry lake bed.
Okay.
There's unnamed pool guy is the first one.
Oh,
and then
when he was at the sniper, I should have had that.
And then there's 4 in the dry lake bed. The limo driver, the guy that jumps on top of the limo, and then 2 of the goons standing outside the limo. Then he kills Endo, and then 2 unnamed mercenaries who are in the room torturing Roger and Rianne.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shoots Mr. Larch, who's the German guy, on his way into the club. And then there's 3 unnamed mercs in the club, and then he kills Mr. Joshua at the end.
Yeah. All right, I feel better. I think if I hadn't wasted my time talking about Joe Pesci, I would have done.
You got more than I thought. All right. Well, that brings us to our next segment, Recast the Past. So this is where we talk about who we would cast today in a Lethal Weapon, either reboot or sequel number 5, whatever.
I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
All right. Riggs, Jeremy Allen White.
Oh.
Murtaugh, Jamie Foxx. Dead girl, who jumps off at the beginning, like Amanda
Hunsacker.
Yeah, Milana Vanitrub. She's the girl from like the Sprint commercials. That's like annoying.
Actual OnlyFans girl.
Is she OnlyFans girl?
The girl on AT&T commercials? Yeah,
Yeah.
she has an OnlyFans.
Oh well, damn! I need to subscribe. Joshua Alexander Skarsgård.
Okay.
And the General Chris Pine. I just like him being evil character. I think Chris Pine does a good.
Chris Pine does good evil. I can get behind all of this except Jeremy Allen White because I don't think that he can do the crazy correctly.
So I think I agree. Out of all of mine, that was the biggest reach. But I fought for the manic depressive.
He could do a pared down version of Riggs, not so much the like who's fucking next.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I would like to see him get to there.
Yeah. Okay. Because
I think if we were to do this contemporarily, it wouldn't be so much of like a macho man. I think he's kind of a ripped guy anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I
could. All right. You brought me around. So for my recast the past, I think Hollywood would cast Timothée Chalamet and Coleman Domingo, and it would be awful. So I'm picking me and Oogie to make a Lethal Weapon remake. That's my recast the past.
Coleman
Domingo actually sounds like a pretty.
I think he would be a pretty good Murtaugh.
Okay, no word. Okay,
Jeremy Allen White for
Riggs, yeah. But couldn't you totally see like Lethal Weapon 5 with Timothée Chalamet?
You know what's actually really funny? I thought about saying Me and You, and then I was just like, I'm going to save it for a better movie. And it's just really funny that you picked it. I was like, this isn't the one yet. Because I don't think that I'm enough. I think you're more Murtaugh.
Yeah.
I think you're low-key more Murtaugh and more Riggs.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm more like a mix between Chris Rock and Joe Pesci.
All right, me and Mark then, and you're the Joe Pesci character. Yeah. Mark's too old for this shit.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like you have a pitch perfect for us.
Yeah,
so this is our segment where we pitch a sequel or a reboot, which this has been done many a time. So what do you got for us?
Okay. Picture this.
Okay.
A gritty Vietnam prequel movie that vacillates between Riggs and Murtaugh. The decisions they make, the implications that they have, and how it leads to Murtaugh being a family man and how it leads to Riggs being special forces, only to foreshadow that the accident his wife had was no accident. Lots of trauma, lots of PTSD, and lots of scenes of GIs impregnating and getting high on opiates with the locals, which is why Murtaugh no longer likes drugs in the house because he spent so much time in drug houses. I call it lethal origins.
Wow.
The conflict. Murtaugh is tasked with clearing out hookup houses where GIs are losing their minds to cheap opium. The breaking point. Seeing the devastation drugs wreak on local families and the neglect of children born into chaos is what fuels the obsession with his own family's safety. He decides that if he survives, he will build a life so stable, so boring, and so safe that the chaos of the jungle can never touch it. Unlike Murtaugh, Riggs is forced to look through the scope. He becomes a tool of the state, realizing he is lethal by nature. We see Riggs meeting Victoria amidst the carnage she is his only tether to humanity. The film ends with the shadowy intelligence figure, probably a predecessor to Shadow Company, noting that Riggs is too affected and he's distracted by a docile life. A final silent scene shows military vehicles subtly being tampered with, back stateside, implicating his future grief was a tactical decision by Shadow Company.
Wow.
We can even spin that one into sequels. I got really high and put a lot of thought into it.
Honestly, we could probably sell that to Netflix.
I know.
Let's get Coleman Domingo on board.
Hey, Jeremy Allen White. Bro, let's do this.
Dude. That would work. That's
Can you see him as a sniper?
Yes.
Like, just like a fucking...
Right. And then he doesn't have to do the crazy rigs because he can do the contained, like, I'm becoming... Okay. My boy got to go.
We're producers, bro. This is how it starts.
Copyright Imaginative Rascals LLC.
Exactly.
Do not steal that plot. We're going to sell that shit to Netflix. That's good. The Oogsker Award is called I Spy, and it's for the best performance by a background character. So when Ugo and I do these, we redact our answers so the other person doesn't see it. So you guys get our real reactions to stuff. And we both put down the Asian guys from the last, I think it's from the heroin scene.
I didn't remember where it was. I just remember.
It's when the heroin explodes on a bunch of random people, and like our swipe away cut to the next scene is these guys like yelling Chinese at each other while covered in heroin.
Requesting additional units.
And I'm so glad that clicked for you as much as it did for me. I came up with a new Oogsker, which I'm going to call He Ain't Gonna Be in Rush Hour 3, and it's the best death award.
Endo. That has to be Endo.
I wrote down Endo first, but I think Unnamed Pool Goon has the idea of like drowning and like suffocating in a pool cover has like scared me ever since seeing this movie.
Yeah.
But I had a really hard time not picking Endo because that was such a badass kill.
Let me know if you guys do this, because this is something that I've done since I was a little kid. Every single time in a movie there's an underwater scene, I hold my breath. See how long I can
do
hold
that
my
too.
breath.
Yep.
I know that it's one of those things that other people have to do, but I feel like no one's ever talked about it in my life.
Yeah.
I do it every fucking time. Anyways, if I'm not going to pick Endo, it was pretty satisfying. I'm going to pick Danny Glover.
Oh, with the headshot. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, and the final Oogsker is called Hull Up, and this is where we give it for the most distracting or surprising cameo. And
yeah, mine was just like the realization. I wrote, what the fuck, Eric, do you see this movie?
I love that it took you towards the end.
It was the middle. I think it was because I didn't realize for a while Joshua was wearing cool clothes at times.
And sunglasses, yeah.
So I thought they were different characters.
Yeah, okay.
And when I realized it was him, I was like, oh shit, that is Gary. Because I don't really know Gary Busey from that much stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember him being like a joke on Comedy Central.
And he had a reality show too,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. I remember that. And like, that's kind of that's what I know him from originally. But I feel like I've seen this movie at some point, but yeah, anyways.
Yes. Our next segment is Watch While. So this is something that we think you should watch this movie while doing. What do you
Mine's
have?
fucked up.
Okay, mine's not.
I said you watch this movie while asking your peepaw what Charlie did when he popped out the bushes and
I said watch this movie while being an 80s man. You're not tough, you're sensitive, and you show your emotions around women and shit like that.
And you do lots of cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, our final segment. Barbenheimer. This is a movie that we would double feature with Lethal Weapon. I picked Ladyhawke because it's written by the same guy, and I love that movie.
I'm going straight with the Vietnam theme, and I picked Tropic Thunder.
Nice. Not Platoon, just
Yeah, I didn't want it to be serious because like this movie is still kind of serious. I was like,
It's very serious. Yeah.
Like, I think
Palate
they complement each other. One's joking with serious undertones. The other one is joking or serious with joking undertones.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice yin yang.
Perfect. And this has been the Black and White Cinema Podcast from the Creative Block in Seattle. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend. It really, really helps us if you share it. Comments help, likes, follow, all that stuff helps. And we just appreciate you being here, so thank you. You can connect with us however you like at allmylinks.com/kev-n-oogie. Thank you to the actual friends of the podcast, Mark and Maceo, Marky Boy Productions and the Creative Block, Megan and Alec for our logos, our Patreon members, Lisa, Eric, Philip, Brian, Ben, and John. And thank all of you for joining us today. I'm Kev.
And I'm too old for this shit. Peace to all the Nubians filled with the new black consciousness.
Revolution. Take care.